Oh, is it? I will wait. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Chattanooga. I'm the Reverend Pam Johnson. I'm the affiliated community minister of this church, and our settled minister, the Reverend Mandy Goheen, has a day off. But joining us today, gracing our pulpit, is Judith Peterson Bend, cleverly disguised as the world today. Judith has been an environmental activist since 1987, so I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. So welcome to you all. Welcome to you wherever you are on your spiritual path. Welcome to you in your full identity. We welcome you, regardless of whom you love, whatever you are, whatever you seek, whatever your belonging and your faith that you live by. Judith, would you like to start us out, please?
Sure. So I'm going to start the morning out with some words from the Haudenosaunee. It's an abbreviation of their Thanksgiving address, which honors the communal nature of all life on earth. And I'm going to use the singing bowl as we do this. Today we have gathered, and when we look upon the faces around us, we see that the cycles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and in harmony with each other and all living things. So now let us give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. We are thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us everything that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us. To our Mother, we send thanksgiving, love, and respect, and now our minds are one. We now turn our thoughts to the Great Spirit and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on Mother Earth. For all the love that is around us, we gather together as one and send out our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Great Spirit. And now our minds are one. And now we'll have our chalice lighting. And you can all speak along with me. In the light of truth and the love we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share.
Spirit and join in song number 1073, found in your teal hymnal, The Earth is Our Mother.
The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Her sacred ground we walk upon, with every step we take her sacred walk upon, with every step we take. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. The earth is our mother, she will take care of us. The earth is our mother, she will take care of us. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. The sky is our father, we will take care of him. The sky is our father, we will take care of him. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. The forest is our sister, we will take care of her. The sea is our sister, we will take care of her. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. The forest is our brother, we will take care of him. The forest is our brother, we will take care of him. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young.
Now it's time for the story of all ages. So will all who are young come up, whether that be young at heart or young in body? We're going to read the Lorax today. And I bought 2 copies of the Lorax for so as you go down, if you'll take them with you, they're to go in our library. So as some of you may know, the Lorax is a book by Dr. Seuss. I'm not going to be able to read all of it, so I have a little synopsis. But I think everyone will get the idea. And you know, it's really hard to be the earth. I'm just going to say that right out. But, you know, we persevere. Just a minute. Thank you for coming up. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows in the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows. The old Onceler still lives there. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkin on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin cold under the roof where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dark midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most calculated count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. He hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole, with a garrulous glove. And then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ear alone. And so the little boy paid the Onceler 15 cents a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail to hear the story of how the Lorax was lifted away. The Onceler tells the boy that many years ago he arrived in a beautiful valley containing a forest of truffula trees. Has anyone ever seen a truffula tree? You have. What's it look like? Fluffy. Oh, right. Good. Having long searched for such a tree as the truffula, he cut one down and used its foliage to knit an incredibly versatile garment known as a thneed. Has anybody ever worn a thneed? You've worn one. Was it fluffy? All right. A strange creature known as the Lorax emerged from the tree stump and voiced his disapproval of both the tree's sacrifice and the thneed itself. After a man bought the thneed for $3.98, the Onceler, ignoring the Lorax's protest, called his relatives and asked them to come and help him with his new business. The Onceler's small group soon grew into a large factory, and new vehicles were built to log the truffula forest and ship out all the thneeds. As time passed, the once beautiful area became choked with pollution, and the Lorax was forced to send the animals away and to find more hospitable habitats for them. The Onceler was unrepentant and told the Lorax that he would continue biggering his operations. But at that moment, one of his machines chopped down the very last truffula tree. Without raw materials, the factory closed down, and the Onceler's relatives left him, and the Lorax sadly lifted himself into the air and disappeared through a hole in the smog, leaving behind a stone platform engraved with the word unless. Remember that word? Unless. The distraught Onceler punished himself with years of self-imposed exile, pondering the Lorax's message. And that was long ago. But each day since that day, the Onceler sat here and worried and worried and worried. Through the years, while his buildings have fallen apart, he worried and worried about it with all of his heart. But now, said the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Okay. You all want to take these down with you? And now we will sing our going away song.
We'll sing our children down to their class and the words in your order of service.
Go your way in peace, wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take, may love guide you on your way.
And now I'd like to invite the choir to please come forward. The choir's prepared a piece called I Will Tread Lightly, about taking care of the earth and doing our part. The text, I lay no claim upon this land, for it stood here before I came, and I will only know a fraction of the beauty it enfolds. I love. So we have a trio of soloists that you'll hear in the middle, and our trio of soloists are Lynn Boshears and Sally Peixoto and Christian Horvath. So this is I Will Tread Lightly.
Lay no claim upon
And I will learn to tiptoe as I go, so I may leave a garden fit to grow.
So now we will have our meditation. And this time we are going to listen to Jennifer Brizan, who is going to be singing Praises for the World. It's short. So if you'll just close your eyes and let the music kind of wash over you and become reflective. So if you'll close your eyes, the music should start.
Jasmine breeze like incense in my head. Moon high in a cold black sky illuminates my bed. The train outside my windows, keeping vespers in the night, singing praises, praises for the world. Life can make you bitter. This life can turn you cold. It seems I've spent most of my own just trying to crack the code. But if I die tomorrow, may the last words that I know be praises, praises for the world.
Each week we take some time to note the events that have happened in our lives, and so as some music plays, I invite you to come forward and to place one or more stones into our vase here. A stone to represent a burden that you're carrying, a sorrow that you're holding, or a joy that you would like to express and mark the occasion of.
Thank you for all of your stones. I'm going to do this the best that I can. But I felt that it's important that we all remember that the earth is not some foreign thing out there, that we are part of the earth. Yeah, this is a costume, but I am part of the earth. And so are all of you, and I hope you'll remember that. So we begin our time together today with a reminder from the native people of America. So we are facing the end of the world as we know it. Not the end of the world, but the end of the world as we know it. Now, this is not new. I want to ask you to reflect back on when you were a child and when you first went to school. Now, I didn't go to kindergarten. My first experience was the first grade, and my world ended that moment when I went into that school. I'm not going to tell you all the details, but I'll bet yours did too. It was not the same world, was it? Now, the next thing that I remember is leaving home. It was not the same world that I knew. It was a very different world out there. And if you have children, your first child makes your life totally different. Can anyone agree with that? I don't know if I had known all of the differences, but nonetheless, I did it. And finally, one of the things that I'm beginning to understand is as you get older, the world changes. It's not like it was when you were 16 or 30 or 50. When you're in your 70s, it becomes a different place. So this is not something new, but this is perhaps a bigger change than we're used to. So I started off with Native people because I've worked with them now for a very long time, and I know that they have gone through the end of the world as they knew it. And they have something to tell us about how to survive our current climate crisis while keeping hope alive. And that's no small thing. They have learned how to adapt to their changing world in ways that are both positive and spiritually focused. Not everyone, but some of them very most certainly have. So I just want to give you a little background and say thank you very much for introducing me. Some of you know me as a counselor. I've been a counselor in the latter part of my work, but I also have a master's degree in sustainable resource development and community education. It also seems that I've fallen into becoming a lifelong learner and a lifelong activist. So, although we have many problems in our world right now, but I believe that global warming is the most dangerous problem we face. So I've decided to commit the latter years of my life to working on global warming. It's really the only thing that makes sense to me, and it's the only real gift that I can give to future generations. So all of you should have a handout. If not, there's some back there on the table. So I want you to ponder, how long have we known about climate change? So climate science itself began in the 1850s when John Tynesdale first suggested, back in the 1850s, that the emission of CO2 could create a greenhouse effect that could heat up the Earth's climate. Then in 1938, and this is all on the handout if you want to keep it, then in 1938, Guy Callender demonstrated that a global land temperatures had increased over the previous 50 years, 1938. In 1965, that's getting into my memory now, scientists warned President LBJ of the risks associated with the continued buildup of CO2. And then in 1975, a paper was published by Wallace Brecker, Climate Change. Are we on the brink of a pronounced global warming? And I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Brecker's predictions are in this paper, and his 50-year projections have been remarkably accurate. That was 1975. In 1988, NASA scientist James Hansen testified before a Senate committee that the age of climate change has arrived. At that time, fossil fuels provided about 79% of the world's energy needs. But since then, global carbon dioxide emissions have risen 68%. And now, fossil fuels provide 81% of the world's energy needs. So I want you to just take that in and pause for a moment and reflect.